Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Tony from Tony's Professional Touch, based out of San Bernardino, California. And in today's video, we're gonna talk to you about how we get high-end clients like these. So let's get right into it.
So how did you get this SRT client?
I think off of Instagram.
Instagram?
I believe
First time doing it, or?
Nah, this is a maintenance client, so every 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that it looks pretty clean on the interior, dude.
Yeah, this whole thing doesn't get too bad. Every 2 weeks we maintain it, and he only uses it for work, and it's not, his job's not too far.
Tony, what do you what's been your best strategy for getting clients?
For getting new clients?
Or in general?
Right now, mainly Instagram ads is doing pretty well.
What about like word of mouth or repeat customers?
Yeah, those are well too. Those like keep the business maintained, like a steady flow. But for like to get new clients and stuff, I'd say more on advertisements. That's what's been working more for us. Word of mouth works too, but it's not as, it's kind of like, I guess, limited in a way, because with ads it's just as much money as you want to spend on it, and with word of mouth it's like it depends on the clients and how their friends and their family members.
So you think it's a little bit slower?
Yeah, in a way.
Got it. And then for like high-end clients, I'm guessing this is high-end client, like what's some of the questions they ask you?
Usually how to keep their vehicles looking brand new for like as long as they own it. Mm-hmm. So like protection wise, that's what they usually ask, how much it costs, what can they do. Sometimes when they get new vehicles, it already has like defects from the factory, so they'll ask how to remove it or how can I take care of it, and then we'll just explain what we can do. And each vehicle is different, each client's different, so it all depends.
Got it. And then for, have you ever experienced a super picky customer or a cheap customer?
Yeah, in the past.
How'd it go? How'd it go?
Well, I don't service them anymore. It wasn't necessarily because they're picky. It's mostly the cheaper clients. I just don't service them anymore.
Got it.
I gotta be strict and firm with my new prices, and it is what it is.
Tony, how do you filter out like serious customers and customers that are just want information?
Well, it's kind of hard, but I feel like as soon as they message me to get like a quote or something, the price usually like lets me know if they're serious about wanting their car done or not, or if they're just like price shopping or anything. So yeah, as soon as I tell them the price, I'll just see if they continue to be interested in getting the service done, or if they just like leave me on red or just say no thanks or something.
So when it's a serious customer, do you expect certain questions that they ask you?
When it's a serious client, they usually don't ask many questions, but I'll ask them questions to see what they're trying to get done on their vehicle, like what exactly are they looking for when they want me to go detail it.
Okay.
Because a lot of clients, they don't really know what they want. Sometimes they just kind of like, they don't know much information, so they'll want like what I recommend. And then off of that, they'll see what works best for them.
Got it. And then, is there any advice you want to give someone who only wants to do like high-end clients?
You might have to. It depends, because like on the areas that you service or live, you might have to go to further areas to service higher-end clients. You probably got to look for them on social media. I don't have like a bunch of high-end clients, but I do have a couple. And most of them are like pretty far from me. They're not like close, so I don't really service them too often. But probably just look into social media, see who you can find that has like high-end vehicles, or also you can find high-end dealerships that sell high-end cars. If you work for one of those dealerships, you might be able to work something out with them where when they sell a high-end vehicle, you service that vehicle and potentially gain that client. Once that client buys that vehicle, you can be like, hey, I can maintain your vehicle and keep it looking in this brand new in this condition if you hit us up or something like that.
Got it. Hey Tony, do you think posting pictures of like really nice cars is good for business, or would you like rely more on like the work itself?
I'd rely on both. You don't want to post like a messed up car that you detail, like let's say like that BMW that's pretty damaged on the wheels and stuff. We don't want to post a picture of the wheels, how they're all like messed up, how they look all bad, even though after we detail them, that's as best as they're gonna get if they're not like they don't get repowder coated or anything. And we wouldn't post that because it just makes it look bad, even if you like explain it. Unless you do powder coating services that or offer that type of service, and that's something you would probably want to post. Be like, oh, here are some wheels that have gotten damaged over the time from not being cleaned often because of the brake dust. And if you want to get this fixed, we can powder coat them for you, and it starts at blah blah blah. So like unless you're doing something like that, then it'd be good. But like we don't offer that service, so it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't really benefit us in any way to post that type of picture.
Got it.
So like it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Detail and like nice picture, nice vehicle. You don't want to post a messed up car or something.
Yeah. Hey Tony, so how do you know like you didn't miss a spot or like any smudges? Like how do you know you did?
You gotta have good eyes.
Good eyes?
You gotta look around, keep looking. That's about it. You just gotta look.
Do you like double check after your work is done? Like
yeah, so once you're done, you like walk around the whole vehicle. Make sure windows are all good inside and out, paint's all good all around, front end no bugs, mirrors, windshield, wheels, inside barrel, face, tire dressing, under the fenders. You gotta double check everything inside, under the seats, all around, everything wiped down, all the door panels. Just gotta look over everything and then go from there.
Tony, are all your maintenance details like this easy? Because I noticed the car wasn't too dirty on the inside.
Most of them, yeah. Usually just a couple crumbs and a little bit of dirt, but nothing too major. For the most part, it's really just like the driver area that most of our maintenance clients like have a little bit of dirtiness.
Yeah.
And it's because that's the person that's using the car, so they don't always have passengers with them. So yeah, for the most part, the passenger areas are pretty clean already, just maybe a light layer of dust and a little bit of debris, and then the driver's side is where we focus most of our time for the inside.
For the maintenance ones, right?
Yeah.
So do you like these more, or do you like the super dirty cars?
It depends, but I prefer these, especially for this type of package, because it makes the vehicle look like new again every single time. And with the super dirty ones, it's kind of hard to make it look brand new again with that package and pricing.
Got it. So you moved it into the garage because of the bees, or?
Yeah.
Or just
well, all the little yellow droppings, the little crap, it happens every time. I don't know why. I heard it was because of the bees. I guess that's their like poop or something. I don't know. But all the little like yellow droppings, yeah, just like messing up the finish of the vehicle and stuff. So we're trying to get it nice and all perfect and clean, and then they just keep dropping those little yellow things all over the place. So we don't keep freaking having to clean those. We just pull it in and then we'll finish it off in here.
So I see there's water in the engine bay, Tony?
No, so after the wash, we got to come in here and wipe it down, because since it has these holes for like, I guess the air to cool it down, water drips inside and like the foam and stuff. So we got to pop up the hood and just wipe it down real quick, just so it doesn't, although we use spot-free water, it still leaves like a little, like not necessarily a stain, but a little spot on there. It won't necessarily mess it up, but it's just nicer so when he does open his hood, you can see it's all like nice and clean and not like water spots everywhere. All right, guys, well, there you have it. We just got done with the Hellcat, and I shared a bit of my opinions about high-end clients. Let me know if you guys disagree or agree in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that. And if you want to see more detailing content like this, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.